Why have you been silent until now? A scientist should not talk until positive. But at times we cannot wait to be positive.
Welcome to another week, and I am today in the last stage of getting my first set of data done. So I started, I think, last week on Thursday or Wednesday with, I should say, my undergrad started with filming the ants in the arena. So now they have gradually just explored this arena and put down their little footstep pheromones and chemical marks so that they know that this is their area, their territory now. And yeah, now my undergrads just changed the paper overlay over the arena, and therefore they need some more sticky tape. So by changing the paper overlay over the arena, all these little footsteps are now gone, and now they should behave differently with new paper. Yeah, that's what we hope to see with this experiment.
A exotic is the tropical storm chasing up your optical audio hurricane impossible arsonist esophageal tonsillitis rhyme so sick I give the mic minute.
Now about 3 hours later I will finish recording, and yeah, this is what it looks like. Amazing. So here's actually one ant walking. Yeah, this camera has a hard time focusing on just the plain white area, and also these cameras here, they also have a hard time, so yeah, we will have to figure out something to always find the best manual focus. If you haven't seen my setup yet, this is it. Yeah, that one broke, so we just reinforced it with these rulers. This is a fan blowing wind on the camera. There is an LED panel. 4 of those set up. I'm pretty proud of that arena because it's just, look at the scale, you know. There is an ant walking, and the arena is just 1,000 times larger than one ant body length. So this means that the ants can roam here freely, almost like they do in nature. So this is about, I would say, half of the size of their natural foraging range. So for some colonies that's actually enough. But it also means that my undergrads have to work long hours in order to make the paper overlays here ant-proof so that they can't escape and crawl under the paper. So something like this here is suboptimal. So one of the challenges of working with ants is that they're just so small that you can't really think of what an ant perceives of its nature, and also because they're more chemically and tactile versed, you don't know what they smell and what they taste of the paper, for example, or what they're walking on. So you always have to be careful to not pick anything that might smell for them or that might be big enough for them to notice.
Like hemp or papyrus, you can twist this and smoke this. Bag it up, cause it was dope when I wrote it. Black magic focus, 4K vision, 5th dimension, fuck your high definition.
Now I'm gonna let my undergrads deal with the 200 gigabyte of video data that we just got, and I'm gonna go home.
Technician of these analog villains. Loner manifesto, magnetic presto. Spinach with the egg white, don't forget the pesto. Lay it on ciabatta, it ain't a rapper hotter. I'm the whole enchilada plus the chimichanga.
Grab it, babe, he's so slippery. Come back.
You can also grab it with your fingers.
Or I could never do that ever in my life, Shafon. Literally never. It would be perfectly fine.
Oh,
he's out. Okay.
Get it.
Alright, dude, let's not play this game, buddy. I don't like this game. Just poop on my sled,
nice.
so I don't have to ever deal with you again.
The CA and one's the N longest.
I think if there was like a natural relation.
So there's a higher chance that one might just arrive at water.
Give me ganja, champagne, shrimp and lobster. I'm a monster, mobster. Keep the potty bonkers like Conan I conquer. You step up, I stomp you. You don't want trouble with a man like me. Patch on my eye hook where my hand should be. You don't want problems, I'm a problem solver. They call me the problem solver. You don't want trouble with a man like me. Patch on my eye hook where my hand should be.
You can't see it now because there are clouds, but I think there's snow on Mt Lemmon.
You don't want problems, I'm a problem solver. They call me the problem solver.
While I'm being distracted by While I'm being distracted by the beautiful clouds and scenery and snow here in the desert. I am actually constructing this 5-minute presentation of a project that I will do in the scathing class. So one objective of this course is that we actually write a manuscript for a publication, and it also happened in the last few years that pretty good publications came out of that. And the topic of this manuscript should be something around scaling, since scaling is a huge part of my thesis. So how in general animals walk around in nature, it's very it depends on scale. How long are the animals walking around and in which space, and you know, there are all sorts of different things to look at. And so yeah, I'm excited about that, and I don't really know what this project is going to be about, but I know it's going to be
Like
good.
a beat, fire to the filament, symphonies of energy, power from the pulsars reaching through infinity, dilated pupils preaching my curriculum, rapid eyes move to the beat of my
That's such a great view. I wish I could snowboard now up there. Here you can see the common checkered vans in their natural habitat. Yeah, this is a plot that I got from a relatively recent video of my ants and vans. Yeah, you can see that the automatic tracking software works for black things. In the last 45 minutes I recoded some of the automatic tracking code that is used in MATLAB, and it works. So yeah, basically I'm a genius. And now I'm just waiting for the code to finish giving me the rest of these images. It's gonna take a while. And so I have been in contact with the HPC, so the high performance computer cluster or center of the university, and they are very helpful. So I sent one email, and then about 8 people have sent me suggestions and emails in one stream. It was really unexpected and really cool. So now we may be able to upload our videos in some form to that supercomputer, and then they will run it. It will take a few seconds, and then we will get all our shiny good data. Because right now my undergrads and I were struggling with having to wait for 2 hours or so for one of these 4 or 5 steps in our video processing to finish. So now that might be not a big constraining factor anymore for getting data. So many good news. As you could see, this week was relatively cold, and now I'm excited that it's gonna get warmer again, and yeah, blue skies again. I'm still all over the place with my thoughts, so I didn't really put a lot of effort into making these vlogs creative and good looking, so it's about time that spring break breaks loose, which will be in a few hours for me, so that's good. Now I'm gonna go to a seminar or lecture or whatever about how to do your PhD faster, so in less than 5 years.
We losing power, walking the final hour, wet sands full of fresh steps left in a mystery. Somebody break the blinds, I'm waiting on the windowsill. The people never see the signs, never have, never will.
So that talk was a little bit slow, and also mainly focused on faculty and how the programs could be restructured to make students finish their PhDs faster. So not so much information for me, but I took it as an opportunity to start with my planning of my PhD. So that's pretty exciting to think about, you know, the next steps of thesis proposal and comprehensive exams and doing all of that stuff. Because as you can see in this graph, most students don't even finish their PhD after 5 years, which should be the normal time. And I am excited to do it in 5 years and still have good results, have a good thesis. Yeah, so there are problems, but the Dornhaus lab has an average of 5 years, so I hope that I can keep that up.
They fold from exposure, the shadows where the cowards hide and shining brightest for the king. You don't want trouble with a man like me, patch on my eye.
I think it's time to seriously analyze the first data that we got.
Look where my hands should be. You don't want problems, I'm a problem solver. They call me the problem solver.